You could have the parents that be like, no, my children will not do it. You could also have those that will say, inshallah, they won't do it, they won't do it. What's that? Denial, if I may say. And then you could also have the case of those that will say, I was exposed to it when I was a child, but nothing happened. I was fine and all that. Yes. But can you be sure it will be that case for your children? How about the person that was exposed at 14 and for all their life, they struggled? This other person, it was in her 30s, even going to 40s, that finds that these images are still in her head. Because of that, she feels dirty, she feels unclean, she's not connected to Allah. She even says that it's as bad as when she sees people sometimes, it's as if she's stripping them naked and replacing them with the images in her head. You can imagine having a brain what's going on. You could also be what's going on. You could also be that category of parents that unfortunately is overwhelmed. You have heard of all these things from different places, but you are so overwhelmed with information that you don't even know what to do. And unfortunately, you could also be in the category of a parent who is also hooked to these sexually explicit images. You watch it so many times, you hide it from your spouse, you don't know what to do about it. But let me tell you something, wherever category you fall, there is help. Help in terms of you can get yourself more informed about these issues so that you can protect yourself, protect your family, protect the society. And if you're in a situation where you yourself are hooked, there is help. This is something I actually do with my clients. I will help them to overcome this compulsion of wanting to watch all this content so many times, often repeatedly, and they're living in isolation. It's not shameful. It's okay to own up to having a problem. If you remember, there's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu that one of the Sahaba came to meet him and told Sahaba that, see, permit me to fornicate. You know what? Rasulullah sallallahu did not insult him. The Sahabas were all agitated. But Rasulullah sallallahu he didn't reprimand him, he didn't shout at him, he didn't shame him. But he just told him to come close, and he said, would you want this to be done to your mother, your sister, your aunt? And the Sahaba said no. And what the Rasulullah said, he put his hand against the man's chest, and then he made dua for him. And Bismillah, he was able to overcome that urge, that sexual urge to consistently commit illegal affairs. So the same way that Allah and Rasulullah has guided us to be able to make changes and help people overcome those kind of compulsions that they don't have any way to resolve, there is help. And then the one thing I want to share with you is a resource that you can actually have access to. And this doesn't even have anything to do with just taking care of this compulsion for sexually explicit content. It could be any other thing that you think you're struggling with. So it's bit.ly//15 things you must do. So if you go to that link, you want to download a resource that would help you. So to look at a summary of basically what I'm sharing with you today is really to let you know that, see, this is a threat that we shouldn't allow to just.
Is for Shams, the shining sun, which Allah placed for everyone.
That was Sister Zainab Oladapo there, who took us through explicitly on this sensitive and fragile topic that is chasing us left, right, and center. May Allah continue to guide, direct, and protect us all. Amen. Up next,
the language. So communication has different facets to it, but it's just about being.
So in marriage and outside of marriage, communication is similar. But I want to believe in more intentional form of communication whereby you ensure you, the messenger, or passing across a message, ensure the message gets to the receiver the way,
that's the whole point,
the way you intended
it. Yeah.
Because even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ensures that in the Quran, Allahu Akbar, Allah gives us these messages in such a way that we would understand. And he also sent Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam to explain some of these things. And alhamdulillah, we have the Mufassir to also break it down, do the exegesis of these words of Allah so that we can communicate. Now, in marriage, who does the exegesis for us? how do we understand or how do we know we are communicating in marriage? In Muslim marriages, how do we ensure there is communication? What do we do?
No, the underlying word there is Muslim marriages. Of course, in everything that we do is underpinned by the fact that it's coming from Allah, and Islam has already given us injunctions as to how to live our lives. Islam is a total way of life. So even in marriage, the way you communicate, Allah has already told you. And like you were saying, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is our perfect example. Uswatun Hasana is our perfect example. He's the one we look up to, and that's why his life is an open book for us. How did he communicate? So those that describe the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they talked about the way he had a calm mien, the way he had this serene kind of attitude when he's talking to you. That I stayed with him for so long, for many years, and he never said oof to me, like a word of rebuke to me. He would rather say, wouldn't you rather do this? And sometimes he would say, oh, my mother and father be fed for you. He would express love to you. Oh, I love you. Oh, Muad, but you should do this and this. So the way he communicated is the way we should communicate in Muslim marriages. There was never a time where it was said that the Prophet ﷺ, with kindness, to show you and to the goal of his communication was for you to learn. It was always about teaching you what is right from what is wrong. It's not about I want to communicate my anger so that you fear me, so that you be scared of me, so that you be intimidated by me. No. So even in Muslim kids, and so the Prophet ﷺ himself too used to show people how are they supposed to talk to people, how are they supposed to to behave. So we have all these guidance from the Quran and the Sunnah, and we really don't have any reason to communicate in ways that destroy the marital bond, in ways that put off. It's important that the aim of the communication should be that I'm passing a message across and I want you to understand it, so we do it in the best way. So I was saying there's verbal communication, there's non-verbal one. Verbal in the sense that you talk, you try to iron things out, and counselors have come up with a myriad of ways. They say you shouldn't continue to say I, or you did this or you did that, to just make you feel that this is what I felt, to make it about you and not about, because when you start to accuse or challenge the other person in your communication, the person will want to defend and it's also attack himself. So it becomes like the two of you are aspiring, or both of you are maybe lawyers in the court trying to argue your cases out. So it's all about trying to show your spouse how you are feeling. Exactly. And some people do not communicate. Some people do not communicate, which is actually a very big problem. The way we are wired, men and women, our communication methods are different. Some women will say, oh, he doesn't talk, he likes to sweep everything under the carpet, he's not ready to have a honest discussion, and I want us to trash out all the issues. But the truth of the matter is that your approach to it may just make him to withdraw into his man cave, and he's not going to come out to talk to you. So, and even verbal, I was just attending a class by Superwife, Coach Medina Sani, where she was talking about your body language, the way you even sit. You want to have a discussion with your spouse. How do you sit? Are you turning away? Are you rolling your eyes? And are you showing that I'm put off? Are you repelling him by your demeanor? Anyway, so it speaks volumes. So communication is everything about you. It's in the things you are saying. Some of us have a bold voice. We are being told that in marriage you need to bring down your voice, and that the closer you are to your spouse, the less you need to make noise when you are talking to them. This was what an elderly person told me. Yes. So when you see couples even whispering to each other and understanding each other, it means that their bond is that tight. But when we are shouting at each other, it's because I'm feeling as if you're not hearing me, and so I'm also shouting because I think that's the only way you can hear me. So it doesn't augur well for us when we communicate in bitter ways, in disrespectful ways, in ways that devalue our spouses. So communication is key.
Communication is key. Communication is key outside of marriage. Now in marriage is much more important, I must say. And from what you just said, if someone is talking or feels he or she is come with the art of listening for them, because I do hear and I know that you can hear. We hear things because we have our ears. Yes. We have these anatomical ears. Yes. But we may not be listening to the person. Yeah. And we should actually listen with our hearts, not just with our ears. And we should, especially as Muslims, because from what she said, the intention matters. Yes. What's the aim? Is it for you to turn this marriage into a war zone, or you just want to have a reason to pick up a fight, or you really want resolution? So if you want resolution from all what you've said, then you need to be calm And then you need to be sure that you are communicating well based on your own perception,
Yes.
and not just a random thing. So we should listen to understand. I want to
Yes,
feel,
and,
not just respond that, hey, that one that you said, the same thing you said last week, and then we pick up a fight.
I think
That-
for anybody to be a good communicator, you must have excellent listening skills. Part of good communication is not just about you saying and saying and saying everything you want to. It's about you also actively listening to what the other person is saying. You know, you have to have excellent listening skills.
skills.
You must be able to have put your marriage first in your communication. It's not about being heard or winning the argument. You know, it's about let's talk in a way that doesn't destroy this our marriage. And then you're also talking about sometimes we can hear with this our physical ears, but the way we are perceiving the message that is different. And that brings me to the issue of love languages. You know, part of communication in marriage for spouses is for you to speak the language of your spouse.
Yes.
If I'm here speaking my language, you know, communication going on there, and that's where the five love languages, which is something that every intentional spouse needs to go and learn about. There are five love languages which we've seen in the book by Gary Chapman, where he outlines them as words of affirmation, giving gifts, acts of service, quality time, and touch. These are the five love languages. Each of these ones are peculiar to different individuals. Everybody have their I can say categorically, for instance, that my love language is words of affirmation. And the way I know it is because personally, I like to praise people. I like to commend people when they've done something good. I like to celebrate people. I like to, even for children, when I see that somebody has done so. And so it means that for me too, I would desire that I'm not insulted, that I'm always affirmed, you know, when I'm trying my best, things like that. And so when you don't appreciate me, of course, so for everybody, you can even see it. For you to be able to apply it to your spouse, look at the way your children are too. I say this to married couples. There are some of your children that you would lash them or you beat them up and things like that, and next minute the person is playing, he has forgotten about the beating. But there's the other one that you will beat or insult seriously, and for 3 days he's still crying, he's still brooding, he's still uncooperative, and still squeezing his face and saying, "Mommy, that time you said this and you said that and I didn't like it," things like that. So it means that for that kind of child, you know, it will work. Some people some children are huggers. It means that their love language is love. It's the same thing for spouses, men and women. Yes. There are some women that like to be touched. So the husband has provided everything that he feels that the house needs. And he's saying, what's her problem? Why is she still complaining? I'm doing everything. I bought her a car, I did this, I did that. But it may be that her love language is touch. And she's saying there's no intimacy, so you're giving the wrong thing.
You're speaking Latin when he's actually is a Frenchman and you are there speaking German. In fact, she has said a lot. This discussion is not yet over. Our sister is still here to dissect it further for us. But in the meantime, let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with communication and harmony in Muslim marriages. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
With the women angle segment, we come to the end of this week's edition of the program. Always remember that there are two phases in life: the day you are born and the day you are going to die. In between these two stages is the life journey on another interesting and educative package of your weekly guide, Light of Islam. I remain Aisha Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Peace be with you all. See you next week.
Facing him every day, facing him till we meet our Lord. Allah, there's only one God and Muhammad is his messenger. Allah, la ilaha illallah. Dua is for duha, the morning light. The sun has turned from red to white. Dua is for tariq. محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam Live, showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.
The glorious month of Ramadan is here once again, and your darling program, Sahur Life on NTA, is back bigger and better. Our team of erudite scholars is poised to provide insightful analysis into the religion. All our interesting segments have been redesigned to meet your spiritual needs in this blessed month. Come and maximize your reward in Ramadan by partnering with us on this year's edition of Sahur Live on NTA. For donations, sponsorship and inquiries, contact the General Manager, NTA Channel 5, Old Parade Ground, Area 10 Koki, Abuja. You can also reach us on these telephone numbers 080-3314-7812, 080-3568-8394, or 080-3380-6162. Sahur Live on NTA, your indispensable companion in Ramadan.
Ne wannan a hannunki?
Zauna. Ina cike da matukar farin ciki. An ɗaura ma 'yata aure da safe, gashi an jima za a kai ki gidan mijinki.
Mama kenan.
Kin ga nan? Lokacin da na haife ki kenan. Kin ga sati 6 nan? Nan ko sati 10 ne. A wannan ko sati na 14. Ina baki fidin boto kina sha? Nan ko wata 9 ne. Wata 9 nan kin fara dan takawa da kafanki kadan amma in kin taka sai ki faɗi. Duk wannan rigakafin an yi su ne kafin ki cika shekara guda da haihuwa. Duk wannan labarin
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
The glorious month of Ramadan is here once again, and your darling program, Sahur Life on NTA, is back bigger and better. Our team of erudite scholars is poised to provide insightful analysis into the religion. All our interesting segments have been redesigned to meet your spiritual needs in this blessed month. Come and maximize your reward in Ramadan by partnering with us on this year's edition of Sahur Live on NTA. For donations, sponsorship and inquiries, contact the General Manager, NTA Channel 5, Old Parade Ground, Area 10 Koki, Abuja. You can also reach us on these telephone numbers 080-3314-7812, 080-3568-8394, or 080-3380-6162. Sahur Live on NTA, your indispensable companion in Ramadan.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
With the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam Live, showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.